Morning everybody, day 3, lesson 3 for our English for this week. I have been informed that I've been yawning in my videos recently, so I'm going to try not to yawn in this one as well. It has been a long week for everybody, including myself, so let's give it a go. So today, in fact, let's just have a quick recap. So this week, so far, we have practiced following instructions. We have had a look at the features of instructions and what we need to include when doing a set of instructions. And you've also learnt a little bit about imperative verbs. Okay, so those bossy verbs that give us commands that we use in our instructions for the instruction part of the what you do part of the instructions. Oh, getting all garbled. So what we're going to do, and you can follow mine as much as possible, but really these are going to be your own instructions because you have all made, and the bridges you've made have been amazing. Okay, you've all had a go at making bridges, or most of you have, and the instructions that you need to write need to be on what you built, not what we are building in class. Okay, so these instructions are linked to the bridges that we're making in class, so you will have to adapt yours depending on what you used or how you did it. Okay, but I've got my plan as a base. So we're going to still use simple pictures because that's what we always use with our plans. We try and remember to put in the punctuation. So this time it's not only the full stops that we're putting in, but it's the commas when we do the list, the equipment list as well. And adding time connectives when it comes to doing the what you do bit. Okay, so I've split my instructions in half, well, roughly half. And although it's quite difficult to see, I'm going to go through it for you. And you can pause at any point, okay? So here I've given you the subtitles. So we've got introduction, what we need, what we do. The one thing that I haven't included is a title, okay? So you're going to be how to build a, now that you might not have built a bridge. You could have done something else. I did say to a few of you that you could not worry about building a bridge, but a lot of you have. So it's how to build and it depends on what kind of bridge you've built. We're building a suspension bridge, so I'm going to write suspension bridge. But some of you, the ones that I've seen, have built beam bridges. Some of you have built cantilever bridges. Okay, so whatever bridge, nobody's built an arch bridge, which I was quite surprised about, but you've all built bridges, or at least the ones I've seen so far have. So that's going to be my title, and I'm putting it up there. And actually, the title needs a capital letters, which is not very good of me. So let's put those in. How to build a suspension bridge. And build needs to be a capital B as well. So there's my title. Introduction. You want to build a suspension bridge at home. It needs to be strong enough for a car to go across, to travel across. So I've got two simple sentences here, what I'm doing and something else about it. So the suspension bridge needs to be strong enough to drive it so a car can drive across, a toy car. So here I'm going to add an adjective because it's a toy car. We don't want a real car driving across our bridge. They're not big enough for that. So remember, our introduction is just one or two simple sentences to say what it is the instructions are about. Give a little bit more detail than just the title. Okay, so pause it now if you want to. So you could copy this completely, but just change your bridge type if you want to. I'm happy for you to do that. Right then, the next bit is what you need. So I have listed all the things that we used to make our bridges. We used lolly sticks, and I've got a comma in there. We used some cardboard, comma, some string, comma, glue gun, comma, pencil, comma, scissors, comma, ruler, comma, paint and paintbrush. So you're putting a comma in between each thing, because then when you come to write it, you will remember to put your commas in. And I have labelled everything that I have used. Okay, so that's the what you need list. Now you will notice that there's no picture on here. You can put your picture into your set of instructions if you've got a printer. If you don't, and you've sent me a picture of your bridge, I will print it off and I will put it onto your set of instructions when I get your books back. Right, the next section then is what we do. So you would write what we do, and what I've done, remember our instructions are numbered. We need time connectives and we need a bossy verb in there. So I've got number 1, first cut. Now I thought it was pretty obvious what you use scissors with, which is why I haven't written the word cut. First, cut the cardboard into a rectangle. That's what we did first. Number 2, then stick 12 lolly sticks together to make the supports. So there's my time connective then, and there's my bossy verb stick. Next, measure and cut the string. So my time connective is next, my bossy verb is measure. And I've got my full stops at the end of all of these, apart from this one, which I'll put in now. After that, make holes in the cardboard so the string can fit through it. Full stop. Then stick, that's the same picture, so that's why I haven't written stick again. Stick the supports to the base. Now in class we made actual bases which were rivers and streams and a bit of land on there as well, so that was what our base was. So you've either been pausing this or you go, or you can pause the video now and copy as much of this as you can. Now obviously your instructions might be different if you've used different things, so it's got to be up to you. But what I would remember is please put the numbers in, put the time connectives in, put the bossy verbs in, and put your full stops at the end. Everything else doesn't really matter because you will be able to put that in when you come to write your instructions tomorrow. But put those other things in, the numbers, the time connectives, the bossy verb, the imperative verbs, and the full stops to make sure you've got them in there. And we're going to move on to the next bit. Okay, so I actually made our instructions for the guys at home, or for the guys in school, sorry, slightly longer because we realised we had more instructions than I'd written on the sheet. So if you need extra space, just use the back. It's absolutely fine. And I've also added in an extra tip which you might want to put in the back as well, which is what we had on our biscuit bridge. So number 6, this one needs a number 7. When the glue is dry, place, there's our bossy verb, the road, the cardboard, on top of the supports. Full stop. Finally, tie the rope down and loop the smaller bits of rope, or smaller bits of string, sorry, not rope. Finally, tie the string to the ends and loop smaller bits of string through the holes. Now, through is a bit of a tricky word, so I'm going to write that down. But I know some of you didn't use string, some of you used blue tack and cocktail sticks, some of you used long skewers. There was some fantastic bridges made this week. And then the extra tip, so you haven't got this on your sheet, so you might want to put this at the on the back. The extra tip for the biscuit bridge was to use different biscuits to increase its yumminess. The extra tip here is if your bridge is too long, you might need to add another support. So it's just a little bit of a helping hand, really. That's what the extra tip is. And that really is your instructions. So just remember to put your punctuation in, your numbers, your time connectives, your bossy verbs. When it comes to doing the list of what you need, make sure there's a comma in between each one. And just keep it simple. Simple pictures. You don't need every single word written on your plan. And that is it for today. Tomorrow, we are going to be writing these instructions. Okay, so good luck with your plans. See you tomorrow.